Ngozi and Eze had just begun their journey as husband and wife, moving into a quiet neighborhood that seemed full of promise. Eze, a dedicated teacher, was excited to start his new job at the local secondary school. Ngozi, on the other hand, had set up a small provision shop in front of their modest home, determined to support their household and grow her business. While Eze found joy in his teaching and embraced their simple life, Ngozi couldn't help but feel the weight of comparison. She often scrolled through her phone during quiet moments in her shop, watching the lives of her secondary school classmates unfold on social media. There, they were living lavishly, posing in designer clothes, driving sleek cars, and dining at expensive restaurants. Each post made Ngozi sigh deeply. She couldn't stop wondering, what would they think if they saw me now? Just a petty trader with no glamour to show for my life. One afternoon, as Ngozi sat at the counter of her shop, her close friend and neighbor Amara walked in. Amara, also newly married, had quickly become a source of comfort for Ngozi in the neighborhood. Unlike Ngozi, Amara exuded a quiet confidence that seemed unshaken by outside influences. "Amara, come and see my mate," Ngozi said, holding out her phone. Her voice was filled with both awe and despair. "Look at them. Look at what they are wearing, where they are going. They are doing so well, but look at me." She gestured around her shop. "This is my life. They would laugh if they saw me like this." Amara smiled softly and pulled up a chair beside her. "Ngozi, my dear, you are doing well for yourself. You are running a business, you have a supportive husband, and you are building your life. Not everything you see on social media is real. People post what they want others to see, not the struggles they hide behind the camera." Ngozi shook her head, her eyes still glued to the screen. "But Amara, their lives look so perfect. How can they be struggling when they are buying cars and traveling the world? Meanwhile, I can barely afford new clothes. This shop is all I have." Amara leaned closer, placing a reassuring hand on her friend's shoulder. "Ngozi, do you know how many people would trade places with you? You have a peace of mind, a hard-working husband, and a future full of possibilities. Don't let social media make you forget what truly matters." Ngozi sighed, but didn't respond. Amara's words were comforting, but the images on her phone felt louder. As Amara left the shop, Ngozi continued scrolling, her mind spinning with thoughts of inadequacy. In their quiet neighborhood, Ngozi and Eze were known as a hardworking and striving couple. Ngozi's provision shop was the largest in the area, always bustling with customers. Eze, with his passion for teaching, had earned a reputation as one of the best educators in his school. They seemed to be a couple blessed with steady progress and a promising future. But for Ngozi, something was missing. No matter how well her business was doing or how respected her husband was, she couldn't shake the feeling of inadequacy. Social media had become her constant companion and unfortunately her greatest source of despair. Her secondary school classmates seemed to live in a completely different world, one of luxury and ease. Every post was a reminder of what she believed she lacked: cars, Designer outfits, vacations, and opulent parties filled her screen daily, leaving her feeling small and unaccomplished. One Saturday afternoon after lunch, Eze noticed the faraway look in Ngozi's eyes. She sat on their couch, absent-mindedly scrolling through her phone, a deep frown etched on her face. "My dear, what's the matter?" Eze asked, concerned. Ngozi hesitated, but then, unable to hold it in any longer, blurted out, "Why is our life like this, Eze? Why do we live so plainly when my mates from school are living so lavishly? Look at them. Some don't even have jobs, yet they are flying to Dubai and buying flashy cars. Most of them couldn't even compete with me academically. Look at me now. How will I ever attend a school reunion? I will look like a failure." Eze sighed deeply and shook his head. He had heard her complaints before, but this time they felt heavier and more consuming. He reached for her hand and said, "Ngozi, not everything you see on social media is real. Some people live on borrowed money. Others go through dubious means to sustain those flashy lifestyles. You have no idea what their reality truly is." But Ngozi wasn't convinced. She pulled her hand away and went on, "Eze, you don't understand. How can all of them be pretending? Look at their pictures now, their cars, their clothes, and look at us. We are here living like paupers while they are out there enjoying life. It's not fair." Eze watched her carefully, choosing his words. "Ngozi, what is it you truly want? Is it to impress people who may not even care about you? Or is it to build something real, something that lasts?" Ngozi didn't respond. She was too wrapped in her thoughts, replaying the images she had seen online. Ngozi's obsession with her classmates' apparent wealth had become an everyday torment. Each morning felt heavier than the last, as she faced another day of comparing her reality to their seemingly perfect lives. The provision shop that once gave her a sense of pride now felt like a symbol of her perceived inadequacy. One fateful afternoon, as Ngozi arranged goods on the shelves, a sleek car pulled up outside her shop. She looked up and, to her surprise, Ugochi, one of her secondary school classmates, stepped out. Ugochi was the epitome of extravagance. She wore designer clothes, flashy jewelry, and a look of superiority. Ngozi's heart sank. She wasn't ready for this. Ugochi sauntered into the shop, her high heels clicking against the tiled floor. She scanned the store with a raised eyebrow before her gaze landed on Ngozi. Her expression shifted to one of mock pity. "Ngozi, is this really you?" Ugochi said, feigning surprise. "I can't believe it. After all those good grades and that degree, this is where you ended up, a petty trader in this small village." She shook her head dramatically. "So pathetic. No wonder we haven't been hearing from you." Ngozi felt her throat tighten. She wanted to say something, anything, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, she forced a smile and asked, "What would you like to buy?" "Well," Ugochi began, inspecting the shop as if we were beneath her, "I came to buy some provisions, but honestly, I only stopped here because the grocery store near me in the city was closed. Imagine coming all the way to this place for such basic things. She said it with such pride that it felt like a slap in the face. Ngozi quickly packed Ugochi's items, her hands trembling slightly. When Ugochi finally left, Ngozi sat down, overwhelmed by a wave of shame and sadness. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered to herself, God, where did I go wrong? Wasn't I supposed to do better than this? That evening, Ngozi poured out her heart to Amara. Amara, she mocked me. She said I'm pathetic. Do you know how humiliating that was? She's out there living the life I was supposed to have. Amara listened intently, her face calm but firm. Ngozi, let me ask you something. Do you really think all the grocery stores in the city were closed? Or do you think she came here just to show off? Some people strive on making others feel small. Ngozi didn't answer. Amara continued. You know I have told you before. Comparison is the thief of joy. You are doing well for yourself, my sister. But you can't see it because you are too busy looking at others. Ngozi shook her head, tears welling up again. Amara, you don't understand. I was the smartest in my set. I was the senior prefect. Do you know how many people envied me back then? And I didn't just stop there. I graduated with a first class. A first class, Amara. And now look at me. Amara reached out and held her friend's hand. Ngozi, who says you are not doing well? Do you know how many people would give anything to have what you have? A husband who loves you, a thriving shop, and a good reputation in this community. Life isn't a straight line and all fingers aren't equal. Be content, my dear. But Ngozi wasn't ready to hear it. Eze returned home from work that evening with an unusual spring in his step. His face was lit up with excitement, a rare sight that caught Ngozi's attention immediately. My dear, why are you smiling like this? She asked, unable to hide her curiosity. Eze chuckled, barely able to contain his joy. My elder brother, Chief Chidi, is back from America. Ngozi's eyes widened in excitement. She had heard so much about Chief Chidi, the eldest and most accomplished son of the family, a renowned medical doctor with properties in Nigeria and abroad. Chief Chidi was a source of pride to his family. Despite his success, his younger siblings, including Eze, worked hard to make their own way, but he always made it a point to support them whenever he could. Eze continued, We are going to visit him tomorrow. He said he brought some goodies for us and his wife has been eager to meet you. Ngozi beamed. I can't wait. I have heard so many good things about him and his wife. The next day, Eze and Ngozi made their way to Chief Chidi's mansion in the city. As they approached the mansion, Ngozi couldn't help but gasp. The grand structure was painted a pristine white, its towering pillars and expansive driveway adding to its magnificence. The inside was even more breathtaking with luxurious furniture, sparkling chandeliers, and a polished marble floor that gleamed in the sunlight. They were seated in the spacious living room, waiting for Chief Chidi, when something unexpected happened. A woman walked out of the kitchen wearing an apron, her hands carrying a tray of drinks. Ngozi's heart skipped a beat. The woman's face was unmistakable. It was Ugochi. She was dressed simply, her hair tied back, looking nothing like the glamorous figure who had mocked Ngozi just days earlier in her shop. Ugochi didn't notice Ngozi and Eze as she hurriedly placed the tray on a side table and disappeared back into the kitchen. Ngozi sat frozen in shock, her mind racing. What is she doing here? And why is she dressed like a help? She wondered, but she said nothing, unsure of what she had just witnessed. Moments later, Chief Chidi walked in, his warm presence filling the room. He greeted Eze with a brotherly hug and gave Ngozi a kind smile. His wife, a poised and elegant woman, soon joined them and they all settled down for a lively conversation. Throughout the visit, Ngozi couldn't stop thinking about Ugochi. She replayed their encounter in her shop and the confidence with which Ugochi had flaunted her supposed wealth. Now, seeing her in this unexpected role left Ngozi puzzled and humbled. As they drove back home later that evening, Ngozi couldn't contain her curiosity any longer. "Eze," she began hesitantly, "did you notice the woman in the kitchen earlier?" Eze nodded casually. "Oh, that's Ngozi. She works here as a housekeeper. Chief Chidi mentioned her once. Why do you ask?" Ngozi's jaw dropped. "Ugochi works there. Are you sure?" Eze glanced at her, confused by her reaction. "Yes, I'm sure. Why? Do you know her?" Ngozi didn't answer. She stared out of the window, her mind spinning. The Ugochi she had envied and the one who had belittled her was not living the life she had claimed. It was a startling revelation, one that made her question everything she thought she knew about success, appearances, and the people she had been comparing herself to. The next morning, as Ngozi opened her shop, she decided to check her secondary school group chat, something she had avoided for the past few days. What she saw left her both shocked and ashamed. Two of her classmates, the very ones she had envied for their lavish lifestyles, had been arrested at the airport. They were caught trying to smuggle drugs into the country. The group chat buzzed with disbelief and judgment as more details emerged about their desperation and recklessness. As she scrolled further, she came across another message. Another classmate, who was often flaunting her wealth online, had narrowly escaped her husband's violent outburst. It was revealed that she had endured years of abuse, staying silent because of the financial security her marriage provided. Ngozi froze, her phone trembling in her hand. These were the same people she had spent sleepless nights comparing herself to, the same ones who had made her feel inadequate, as if her life wasn't enough. She couldn't believe it. That evening, she narrated everything to Eze. "Eze, do you remember Ugochi, the woman who mocked me at my shop? She's just a housekeeper, and now two of my classmates have been arrested for drug trafficking. Another one has been suffering abuse in her marriage. I feel so ashamed of myself." Eze, who had been listening patiently, chuckled lightly. "Ngozi, I have been telling you, you have this all along. Not everything you see is real. Ugochi wearing her madam's clothes to take pictures in the house when the owners are away, doesn't that tell you something?" Ngozi's eyes widened in disbelief. "She wears her madam's clothes and posts pictures online as if they are hers." Eze nodded. Yes, so Chief Chidi mentioned it once. People will do anything to appear successful. That is why I always remind you, comparison is a thief of joy. You have a good life, Ngozi. Appreciate it. Don't waste your happiness chasing shadows. Ngozi sat silently, taking in his words. For the first time, she felt truly at peace. All the envy, all the sleepless nights of comparison, it seemed so foolish now. From that day onward, Ngozi resolved to focus on her own journey. She poured her energy into growing her shop, cherishing the life she had with Easy and finding joy in the little things. The doubts and insecurities that had once haunted her began to fade. Her story became a reminder to herself and others. Appearances can be deceiving, and contentment is a treasure greater than any wealth. This story carries a lot of lessons, and I'm sure most of us can relate. True happiness comes from appreciating what you have rather than longing for what others appear to have. People often present a false image of success and happiness, especially on social media. What seems glamorous on the outside may hide struggles or dishonesty. Be contented with what you have and count every day of your life as a blessing. Thanks for watching, and please stay tuned for other videos. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Have a blessed week.